make sure I start recording. It's gonna be a lot easier to get this all going once I get that up there. Okay, so we can keep that, and then we should be able to. Okay. Okay, it's up there now. So if you guys want to shoot a share.
Off the idle chat?
Yeah, if you're following the page, it should automatically populate if you're following.
All right. I got it through.
Alrighty. I think we should be good to go. Make sure we got no feedback here. I don't want to have extra audio coming through. You got your phone on. That's where I'm hearing the feedback from.
Turn it off?
Yeah, just lock it.
Yeah, or at least take off the audio. Just turn the volume all the way down so you don't have that feedback coming through. Yeah, because the mic's picking that up.
Damn.
Come on, Cletus.
I know, I'm trying.
All right, I think we're good. All righty. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Idle Chatter Podcast, a random thoughts podcast. I'm joined today with Darius Shaw and Tyler Shaw. Darius is also known as Dshaw. How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh man, I'm doing freaking phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Do. So I know we started talking a few weeks ago. You contacted me about the new album you guys had just dropped. You and your vocalist there, Sam. So I want to start by talking a little bit about what kind of got you into music. I know you said you kind of managed the album, getting all the productions and the vocals and the track lists all set out for the album. So what kind of led into your passion for getting into music and doing what you're doing with this album?
So I'm pretty much like an avid listener of music and whatnot. And one of the most spectacular things about music to me is like when you're really feeling a song, you get those goosebumps like up your arm and your back, and yeah, it's such an awesome feeling. And I wanted to pursue it, but working like full time, super hard to like find time to like sit down, let's do some music. But thank God COVID happened because we're on quarantine. Place of employment shut down, and I really was able to like sit down and really do some investigating of it. Try doing the beats myself, but that's a lot harder than what people make it to be.
I've done a few things, man. You could just a little 30-second beat clip. You can spend hours and hours and hours on. And then when you go through it, it's like, man, that doesn't sound right. I got to change a bunch of stuff. I got to go into this. It's just not like copy and paste. And you're not going to sample off somebody else's beat if you want to do something original.
Yeah, and I didn't want to sample anything, but it's pretty much like you said. I spent hours on a beat. And, listen it from start to end. I'm like, wow, this is kind of trash, It's really bad. Hours of work for nothing. So, just looking into it, I still wanted to, dabble with it. So I reached out to some producers on, like, BeatStars.com and looking to see what kind of instrumentals they had. And one of the first ones was an instrumental called Scared, which was a very like a weekend 80s style type beat, and looking for a vocalist, that's where I came across Sam, and he sent me his draft from beginning to end. He wrote the whole song like when he heard the beat, and it ended up turning into Devil in My Bed, my very first track. And ever since there, we just kept the ball rolling because he just delivered this high quality professionalism, and the guy was fucking charming. Like I loved interacting and working with him. Uh, yeah, he was an absolute trooper. That's pretty much how I got started and took it all the way to the end ever since. So
So what does Dad think about all this?
Oh man, no man. Well, it was a different genre because I used to dabble in music. Ah man, long time ago.
A few years.
A few, yeah. Shoot, it was '96, I think. Started messing around. Some of these guys are still doing it. Justin DeSufi. I did a couple songs with Justin DeSufi. Kenny Westmoreland. Then his uncle David St. James was Novelty way back when. So he's had a little influence before. So when he approached me, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be, you know, I mean, we were doing it back in the garage with karaoke machines, you know, in the '90s doing it. So this stuff is like, you know, unreal with us. But so then I would say, what kind of genre of music? And I was like, ah. So it took me a while to actually feel some of the stuff. But then I'm like, hey, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So then like I'm his biggest fan. I think I'm his biggest fan now. Like until you said something about that one song. I listen to it every morning when I get in the shower.
Yeah. Oh man, I've
no messing with my day. Like,
I mean, I've played that song a few dozen times. Not gonna lie, man. It's a good one here, and we'll go over that maybe in here in just a little bit. Go over some of the tracks that you got on it. But yeah, so you collabed. Obviously, you had your producer doing all the beats and everything, but you had vocalist Sam Welch, and he is on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Too, I believe I had that Facebook pulled up here. Double check here. Yeah, it's at Sam J Welch, WELCH, and you can follow a lot of the stuff that he's got on there as well. But so how did you guys meet up? I mean, I know you said he is in the UK, so I mean that's not just a hop, skip, and jump, and driving your mom's car across the road to get to him. So how did you guys meet?
just on the white pages, just looked up his. No, so there's a site, looking for a vocalist for this beat that I just purchased from BeatStars. It's called Vocalizer.com, and it's essentially, aspiring vocalists and musicians looking, for a gig. You can almost call them freelancers, essentially.
Right.
And going through, there was a lot of good vocalists out there. Top-notch work. But with Sam, I don't know what it was about his demo that he sent me, his initial rough draft, but it was just so well done. And, the way he just kind of carried himself through his emails is like, I could see myself really working with this guy. And I think overall it paid off. I remember sending my dad the first track, and, he was blowing my phone up right after. He's like, hey, is this you? Is this you? No, it's not me. It's little guy I met named Sam, and we've just been rocking it ever since. So
I know you said it kind of started, when all the last year and a half kind of took off. So from the time that you guys hooked up, you had all the beats and everything ready to go. How long did it take? Did you guys get everything recorded and everything ready to go? Because I know the album just dropped not that long ago, so it's only been out for just a little bit now.
From beginning to end, I would say the album itself took about a year and a half and an additional 6 months for me to actually do something with it. But when it came to beginning to end with a song, a track, I would say it'd take about like 2 weeks to really finish a song. Really.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, I mean, the track list is pretty good. It's got, God, what has it got? I know it's got somewhere around 53, 54 minutes worth of songs on there. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, almost an hour's worth of content. And it's got a little bit of everything. You got your, pop. You got your a little bit of EDM in there. some really sad songs. So I mean,
Yeah, there was a few of those, but I know. I mean, we had talked about a few of them there. But just once again, it's available right now on Spotify. It's Dshaw and Sam Welch. It's Dreams on My Cheek. You guys want to check it out? Obviously, if you got Spotify Premium, you're not even paying anything for it. Helps out the artists, the producers. Helps these guys out a ton. You share the album and take a listen to it. And I promise you guys are not going to be disappointed. And there's definitely quite a few songs on here that I think, given the right exposure, I think could do pretty good on here. And I think that, I mean, I know you guys got your own personal favorites. We'll kind of go over that. But yeah, I know one of the ones that was my favorite was No Messin' With My Day. And I know we talked about it before when we were messaging, talking about meeting. I told you I gave the album a listen because I don't feel right. I'm not just going to have you guys on and be like, yeah, it was a good album. I haven't listened to 2 seconds of it. I want to have some type of input. And, being a DJ, I like to pride myself in knowing a good amount of music. And I like listening to some of those artists that are kind of up and coming because nobody just starts out, hey, I'm super popular right from the get-go.
Right.
Everybody starts from nothing. We were talking about, people like Lil Nas and Blanco Brown. They started from basically nothing. Now they're some of the best artists in the game at what they're doing. They blew up, and that's all it takes is that one song, that one clip getting viral. Next thing you know, people see the talent that you guys got and that you guys are showing. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to at least play a little snippet here of it. But like I said, you guys can get on there and you can listen to the whole album and listen to everything that it's got. But I'm going to go ahead and just play a little portion of this one. Like I said, this is my favorite one off the new album. I mean, I do like some of the other ones that are on there, but this is definitely the one that stood out to me. And yeah, we'll give this one a listen to for just a minute. Let everybody that's in here take a listen real quick.
I wake up in the morning with a smile upon my face. Yeah, I got the feeling everything will be okay. You can light a fire, but I put it out with rain. You do what you want, ain't no messing with my babe. Yeah, I got that crazy feeling like dopamine insane. Ain't no cortisol, man, take that shit away. You can light a fire, but I put it out with rain. You do what you want, ain't no messing with my babe. Get it right, I live and let die. Ain't nothing you can do, gonna creep up on my vibe. Like clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Ain't nothing you can do, gonna creep up on my vibe. Cause I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm feeling good. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la.
But yeah, that's a little bit of a snippet there from one of the songs off the new album. Once again, that's Dreams on My Cheek. And we were talking a little bit while the music is going on here about it. But yeah, definitely that Mac Miller feel. And you said Sam was kind of thinking that whole Donald Trump song. That's like literally one of my favorite songs. I got multiple Mac Miller albums. I mean, he is somebody that we lost way too soon, man. And he's got his original sound. And, I think he had so much potential, and I don't think he got as big as he should have been. I mean, I think he was super underrated as an artist. There's a lot of people that knew who he was, but he just didn't make it to that level. I mean, hopefully you guys can keep going with this, and I think you got something good, and I definitely think that you can shoot your way right to the top. I mean, just because one person says you ain't got it, I mean, there's still 7 billion other people on the planet, man, and you and me might think stuff like bluegrass and jazz. I'm not interested in that, but there is a huge amount of people that are into that style of music,
And absolutely, and I'll be like, hey man, ain't no messing with my day. You have,
man, and you never know. It might not even start with that. You could have like some type of movie producer contact. Hey, I want to use this in my movie. And some artists, they start out that way, man. And I could definitely see this as like some type of, whether it be a roll credits kind of song or kind of opening credits kind of song. It kind of boosts into that. It could be, you know, a tale of somebody just coming out from nothing, and you ain't
Right.
gonna start shit with me because nothing's gonna ruin today, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, after the last year and a half, you have to have more of a positive outlook on where you're going. And just because not everybody supports you, you do have friends and family that will support you no matter what. And at the end of the day, it comes down to what you personally think. And if you have a passion for doing something, you got to stick with it and keep going.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Keith Calderon is another guy out of Polo that's really gave me a lot of advice about putting together a team to keep this going, you know, keep that motivation up, because we don't have a major label backing us. So that's when I started reaching out to the local bars, different DJs, to help with that. Try to get us all on one team. And like I said, and to be a local person coming up, and like you said, not everybody's famous right away.
No.
So even like our Isaiah Robies or Arthur Cox, you know, our athletes, there are a lot of good things coming out of this area.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
you know, and it's, I mean, you're going to have, you know, some bad eggs in the mix there, but, you know, at the same time too, you know, as long as you're trying to do what you enjoy, that's all that really matters. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff, you know. I enjoy talking too much. You know, I come from an Italian family, so you gotta keep talking if you want to word it in edgewise here. But yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more. I know obviously we couldn't have Sam on. I mean, he couldn't make that flight over here next day delivery kind of thing. But you know, I think just from what you guys have told me about him, I think he's definitely somebody that I'd like to have on maybe sometime in the future. You know, right after you guys get super viral, 100 million views kind of thing, have you guys on, maybe have him on too as video in there, so we can kind of maybe discuss a little bit more. Yeah, man, we'll definitely I mean, like I said, you guys can check him out. Sam Welch, he does have a Facebook page. After the video, I'll definitely put something up, link to his Facebook page, so you guys can go check him out too.
1 million streams on I can't remember what song that was.
Sex on Fire.
Sex on Fire.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to give that
Million
one a listen
streams,
to.
so
I mean, he's definitely
big
got a
ups.
good voice, and it's got that unique feel to it. It's not something you hear every day. You know, has more of that accent to it that you can definitely tell. I mean, obviously we do get artists like that in the U.S., but not quite as much as, you know, it's over there. It's probably a little bit more normal, but over there in the UK and Europe in general, I mean, they're pretty good about distributing, you know, media and music and stuff like that, and there's more exposure. You know, we're the ones that hear about music way after the fact.
Right.
You know, years and years they already, you know, they knew what that was.
Yeah.
You know, and like as I was telling you guys before, I try and find the music that, you know, before it gets popular. You know, you start playing it, people look at you like, what the hell is this guy? This DJ sucks. What the hell song is this? And like 3 months later, it's like, oh, this
I'm
is a
an
banger.
island
Will you
boy.
play this song?
I'm an island boy.
Yeah. Well, I do not want that one to be viral. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. That was not a good one. But like one, for example, like, I don't know, this had to have been 2013. You have to remember Psy Gangnam Style. You remember that one, don't you?
I do.
So I came across, I don't even know how, because I think I was doing like what do you call it, like a graduation party, and she was like super into like K-pop and stuff like that. And I happened to come across this video. I mean, it only had a couple 100,000 views at the time, which, I mean, that's still quite a bit. Now, I mean, I looked at it, I'm like, this is a ridiculous song, but it's super catchy. So I started playing it. Like, what the hell is this? About 3 months later, that video had over 1 billion views.
Yeah.
That thing blew up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know the whole story, because I think it ended up getting like banned on the radio or something with like what actually he's saying in the song or something like that. But that song got I would say that's like the beginning of like viral videos. I think the only other video before that had over 1 billion views was Baby by Justin Bieber. Now, I mean, it's pretty common for videos to have huge amounts of views anymore nowadays, you know, especially with more people getting access to the internet and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all these ones. And there's so many ways that, you know, especially artists can get their music out. You know, you got TikTok, and I was telling you guys about that, man. That's something you guys need to hit up and start posting your stuff on there, whether it be, you know, the song, a snippet of your favorite part in the song, and do something crazy in the background, whether it be something that's already viral right now. Man, you'd be surprised at how much you guys can blow. I mean, if you can get 100,000 views, if you can only get, you know, 5% of those people to go into Spotify or
Oh,
go
right.
get the track, man, that starts blowing you up and that blows it up. Somebody's like, oh, damn, this song's good. And you know, there's people that are scrolling through that stuff that are like major
the time.
producers, record labels, especially record labels, because they know that's where some of these guys are coming from, and they, you know, just don't get into the excitement of like some record label coming up. Oh, I'm gonna sign you this kind of that, and it's like, you know, you don't want to get ripped off. I've heard too many stories of artists coming in. It's like, oh, you're gonna give me like $100,000 for the rights to this stuff, and then next thing you know, they made like $100 million off it or something like
Right.
that. You know, you definitely want to take it slow. Don't get caught up in the. It'd be exciting. I mean, obviously, somebody comes up and be like, "Hey, we want the rights to your track," or even just one song. You know, like I was saying, there's stuff like that. You know, producers and stuff like that. I know a lot of videographers that go out and get rights to certain tracks and stuff like that. A lower known, you know, artist, even if it's just beats and stuff like that, because that way they can post stuff online. They own the rights to that song or the music, and they don't have to get like copyright strikes. They don't have to pay royalties or anything like
Right.
that. But yeah, so. I guess go into it. You know, you were telling me a little bit about some of the stuff, background music that you did. So I mean, it kind of
Oh.
seems like he kind of grew up around
A little bit,
that kind of stuff. I mean,
Yeah, dabbled in it. Like I said, he was real young, you know, then. But his uncle, I think, was more. Did you Novelty or David? Did you hear a lot of his stuff?
I heard a bit of it. I have a CD, but if anything, I remember some of your old ones. I don't remember the names, but yeah, I have I have his posters still. Novelty.
Yeah.
David Jr. Little David. Yeah, I still have his poster, and I think I have maybe a clip of yours. You know, back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I remember some of it.
There's tapes all over the tapes. I'm talking tapes.
hey, I remember my first Walkman. Like,
Yeah.
God, what was it like? Oh God, I don't even remember. I think it was more than 20 years ago now.
It wouldn't even fit in the inside pocket of your jean jacket.
Yeah.
You couldn't stuff it down
Yep,
there.
had those old goofy headphones, those little things with little fuzz balls
Oh,
on
yeah.
on the ends of them.
Yeah, right now with Keith telling me to we don't have a major label backing us. I'm trying to think of everything we can to push it. So I did reach out to like Dixon High School and the junior high. Gonna get their cheerleading team and dance team maybe to choreograph something during the halftime thing. Just thinking of new, different, innovative ideas to get music out there, not having the major label backing us. So yeah, I got the. Just hustling, man. Just hustling.
Definitely more creative thinking on our part, since you know we don't have that backing. Which you know, thank you. By you know, again, he's my dad set this whole thing up, which is you know great exposure. It's capitalizing on my moment, and you know, thank you for that.
No, thank you guys for coming on, man. This is awesome. Like I said, I just kicked this podcast off, and I wanna focus more on local stuff, whether it be, you know, I had a local, I guess you'd consider it, politician. He's an alderman there in Rock Falls, but he also helps run a company that he makes like these custom type candle things. Like if you have like a bottle of whiskey or, you know, a can of beer or something like that, he can repurpose it, turn it into a candle. You know,
yeah, it cuts it. Yeah. I saw that.
Yep, real cool stuff. And so I had him on. Like I said, I had Daryl and talked about his Twitch stream and things like that. And I've got some other stuff in the works here with some local business owners and entrepreneurs that are around. And obviously, this is probably the worst time to start something like this because everybody's crazy busy for the holidays and everything coming around. We just got finished up with Thanksgiving, and now we're rolling into Christmas. I mean, Christmas, let's be honest, it started like 2 months ago for some people. I mean, at least Walmart, they were all ready to go with all the trees and lights. I mean, I like it. I like the family time, man. And you guys seem like a good, group that you probably enjoy family time. It's like we want to sit down, have some dinner,
Yeah, like I said, it's so we're all always so busy. Everybody's got their, he's older. My kids are getting older. I do a lot of coaching, so it's really hard to sit down and with a full-time job and then this and that. We try to make the best of it, man.
Yeah.
It's hard everywhere, so we just can't have nobody mess with your day, I guess.
Yeah.
Messing with my day.
Man, yeah.
Hit it
So
with a plug,
we talked about it, but yeah, anybody that's listening, we're gonna have Darius come out tonight. I'll be DJing out there at Patios Irish Pub there in Dixon. It's on the corner there. I believe it's Second right there across the Peoria Bridge. Everybody knows it real well. But I will
Great
be out
place.
there. Obviously, 21 plus. Gotta make that real clear. Don't want no underagers coming in because it is a bar.
How old are you again?
48. You were telling me
yeah,
48,
48.
something like that.
Yeah.
Close. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting up there.
Getting up there.
Moisturize twice a day, so keeps me young. My skin
Moisturize.
glows.
Speaking of moisturizing, I remember some lady. She had to have been 50s, and there's another lady who was like, "How do you keep? You have like no wrinkles, and being in your 50s, how is that possible? Like, what kind of creams do you use? You get because you get your girlfriend, your spouse, whatever. They're wanting to buy all these $200-$300 creams to get get rid of the wrinkles and everything like that. And the lady's like, "Oh no, mine. I spent a couple dollars on it." She's like, "What do you get? Preparation H." I'm like, "What?
Preparation.
Bullshit. Preparation H?" She's like, "Yeah. Well, you know what it does, right? It tightens the muscles." I'm like, "No shit. You got people spending thousands of dollars on these creams to like eliminate wrinkles, and here people's just using butt paste on their face,
Wow.
basically.
Wow.
But apparently it works. You think about it, it's like it's tightening muscles. That's the whole point of it.
Well, your skin looks real clear, Chris. What are you using?
Wow. Well, now the secret's out. Now I can't get away from that. No, that's why I got the hat on. I've got like these strings that are pulling my loose skin backs to hide all that stuff. It's a good thing that this is not in HD, so you can't see all this crap. Oh God, high def. Man, I remember once they started switching over to high def. I mean, you are a little bit younger, so I mean, I don't think you're probably not quite old enough to see kind of the boom when everything switched to like from the like 240 and the 480i and getting into like the HD.
You could see the pores on
Oh
your
God, it was
skin
bad. Like all these makeup artists had to reapproach how they do stuff because what looked good on a square box television did not look good
Right.
when you like tripled the resolution on that stuff. People are like, "Oh my God, this person's ugly." So now it comes down to like lighting and all that stuff, and it's going to get even worse. Now that we're
Right.
getting into like 4K, resolution, 8K is right behind it now, and it's like, man, if you're ugly, you are ugly very clearly.
There's no hiding that.
And they're like, "There's no messing with my day."
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not. You're gonna have to get some kind of TikTok. Maybe we can pull something together tonight at the bar and put that song with it. And we're gonna have to do something. We'll get people hopping out
you
there.
go.
Oh yeah, let's
We'll
do
have to do
it.
something.
We'll do it.
We'll have to do something like that and see if we can get anybody to do something crazy, legally, of course.
So we were at Whiskey Barrel on your birthday.
Yep.
You had your crew out there. Tell everybody how because it was so out of your norm. That whole night, it was so out of your.
Yeah, so I'm a cell leader at a wall clipper, and the team I have, great team. I fucking love them to death. They know me as kind of like a nice guy, but straight to business, like no messing around, not really. So when I posted about, hey, later tonight we're gonna be at Whiskey Barrel to promote the album release, a good amount of my crew from work came down to Whiskey Barrel, and I was already drinking at the time, so I'm already let loose, and as soon as they came in, they bought me like 3 more beers and a few shots, like just right away, and then they started playing my songs, and I was just acting a fucking fool on stage, like just
I've seen some of the clips that
And he's not like that at
no,
all.
I am
So
not
that
like
was
that. I'm normally like back cornered, like let's just nod the head,
bobbing,
tap my
yeah.
foot. That's the most you'll get from me.
Yeah.
No, was doing the worm with my dad, like right in front of stage. Everyone's
What the?
yeah,
Get
what
people
the
hyped
hell?
up, man.
Yeah,
Got
well, I
you.
think they were more nervous and scared for me. Like this isn't my boss. Like I don't know who
Yeah,
this is.
right.
Yeah, but God, that Monday going back to work, it was definitely interesting to say the least. I kept getting a lot of compliments or comments like, "Hey, we didn't know you were so talented. We didn't know you could move like that." I'm like, I didn't know I could either.
Yeah.
So-
They're like, "Hey, and your brother was hot too." He said, "That's my dad."
I don't know if that's good. If that's good for your dad or bad for you. A little bit
Time
of
will
both.
tell. We'll see what
Yeah.
comes of it.
Yeah, I started using Preparation H wipes.
Yeah, man, that works. Keeps the shit off your face, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. Oh man, yeah, it was a good night. It was definitely a highlight.
No, and that's cool, man. That local places like that is doing that. Obviously, you kind of stuck with just doing stuff locally, like bars and stuff, because there's not like teen clubs or anything like that too. And obviously, you get that high school age, they're a little more open to listening to new music. I'm more open to listen to just about everything. I always get people, oh, what's your favorite kind of music? I'm like, I really don't have one. I mean, I listen to everything. I'm not super into like death metal.
Seems like you're pretty knowledgeable about a little bit of everything.
I'm a little bit all over, but I was telling you guys, I've done over 100 weddings now in 10 plus years that I've been doing this. And I tell you what, you got to know Johnny B. Good through, Earth, Wind, and Fire, through Red Hot Chili Peppers, all the way into like, God, even getting to country, Blake Shelton, go back, Hank Williams Jr., get all over the place. Like, I may not know every song from every artist, but almost any crowd that I'll play in front of, I can find songs. And not just that. In a wedding DJ and like a club DJ are two different things. A club DJ might be really good at getting people hyped up and everything like that, but they do not transition well usually to weddings.
To wedding, yeah.
Because you are not playing like massive hip hop or EDM tracks at a wedding with Granny and their two-year-old, yeah. you got to have. I mean, there is a time for that stuff, but I can have weddings where a lot of it's just background music for the most part. You don't really start with any of the dance stuff until later on. But having a good wide variety of music, I can be like, I can keep your guests entertained. And you know what? Like, what's a genre that you might not like? I know a lot of people always they hate on country. It's like, I don't really care for country.
Well, it's different now.
Yeah, there's
so
a lot of
poppy.
poppy.
It's not like the.
But like, okay, if you're like, I don't really care much for country too much. Now we're not talking like the newer poppy country. We're gonna talk like older, like pre-2000s country, right? Like, I never really listen to country. Now, if I said, do you know Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks? You're probably gonna say yes, man. Even though you don't care for country, like, yeah, I fucking know that song.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I will play. Stuff that you may not care for it, but yeah.
You get a remix in your next song to that, right?
We'll see how that goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
Cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. This is why you got to follow this, guys. And like I said, you have got to make yourself a business Facebook page that you can have, and that gets you more exposure. And it's a good way so you're not getting blown up if you do happen to go viral or something like that, getting these thousands of messages a day. That's when you're like, I can't keep up with it, I give up.
Yeah.
Then your dad can't even message you anymore because his messages are buried to the bottom underneath
all the panty pics that
couple of little have to track you down.
That's my dad.
Yeah. But it's a good way to get your music and everything else that you got going on, especially if you got upcoming stuff, because typically you're not going to want to just add a friend for some random person that you don't know, but this other way they can still kind of follow what you're doing without having to see what you're going on in your personal life, just what you share on that business page. And like
Right.
I said, some people might not like you, but they do like the music and the stuff that you're doing, so they keep updated with it. Same comes down to Instagram, Twitter. It just depends on what kind of stuff that you're doing is going to depend on what platform you want to kind of push more. I mean, everybody's on Facebook, but I've heard a term that people are considering Facebook the boomer app.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Now,
I've been saying it for years.
it makes me feel old. I mean, I've been on there, I think 2008. I think I set up, and I'm pretty sure that I was still using MySpace pretty heavily when I signed up for Facebook, because I didn't really use Facebook. This was back when it would say like, it'd have your name and then is thinking ... and then you'd put whatever your status is, status quote unquote. It was different. There was not much to Facebook, but you're probably too young to MySpace, to be honest. I mean, it kind
I
of,
remember MySpace.
after like 2010,
I think-
it really tanked.
I think Little Juan still has a MySpace, don't he?
I still got one, man.
They're
But,
trying to hit me up on it.
but no, I was talking to Daryl about this, and like, I mean, the owner Tom, is everybody's best
Oh, yeah,
friend when you
that's
sign up.
Yeah, I remember.
He
Tom.
got out of there just in time. I mean, it's Facebook now, but I really think with the whole thing that they're kind of like rebranding, you know, to that whole meta or whatever it's
Meta
gonna
world,
be. Yeah,
yeah.
meta. It's they're trying to rebrand because there's other these platforms, you know, and they can see analytics and see, okay, how much time is the average person. Like you can go into Facebook and see how much time you spend. You know, they're a year and a half ago, I'd probably, you know, some days I could be on 2 or 3 hours. You know, that you know, it's like holy crap, I'm spending too much time on here. But there's people that spend way more time than that. But you know, now I'm lucky to spend a half hour on Facebook, and it's usually to like make a post for this or the DJ page or maybe in Messenger or something like that. But then you flip, it's like, okay, well, you're not spending much time on Facebook, but how
Now
many
where?
hours are you spending on like TikTok?
Now we're,
Let's be honest
it's
here.
going somewhere.
Like it's just like 10-second clips. Yeah, 10-second clips times like 1,500 you're watching in a day. It's like you don't realize how much time that sucks into you, and that's why you got to stay on top of media, social media, especially when it comes to music, because everybody's got music. Everybody's got this little thing that they do. You know, if you're a model or somebody that's trying to show what you could do with like photography or something like that or art, you know, Instagram is where people usually lean more towards. If you're more into somebody that's like super, let's say, political, or you want to get information like not verbal, but like text and stuff like that, Twitter is usually a place to go. Twitter is still probably one of the biggest social media apps that you can use worldwide because it's so available and it's super active. I use it, especially when I was more into like gaming and stuff like that, for like tech support and stuff like that, because companies are a lot more active about troubleshooting and getting stuff resolved through Twitter. And you wouldn't even think that, but they are 100 times faster than calling customer service or trying to get information online. Facebook is more of who you got personally. I use it because I know more people and I'm keeping it local, so that's how I'm kind of applying it. But I do put the podcast on Spotify, the audio portion after it's done. But with what you do, I mean, you know, obviously you still know a ton of people on Facebook. I mean, you've got something crazy like 2,400 friends or something
all the
like
time,
that. I
all
mean,
the
I'm sure you
time,
have
yeah.
parties with every single one of them every other weekend.
Yeah, oh yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
the way I act, but I'm a coach too. I'm a local coach
Yep,
too, so
yep.
I have a lot of my players, family, friends. So I try to stay interactive with them. Since I've coached even around here, Oregon, Mendota, Dixon, LaSalle, Dazelle. So, and I stay in contact with a lot of them. So
Yeah.
my reach is far.
Yeah, especially when you're getting stuff like that. But like, especially you know, you being a little younger, man, getting that younger generation to listen, and that kind of gets your outreach there too, and kind of see where it takes you. And I mean, there's been some people that have made their way out. You know, there's been some local personalities and musicians that's made it on The Voice and stuff. You have in Dixon, Gina Veneer.
Yep.
She got out there.
Who was the other?
Alex Fishbach. That's another one I'm hoping to have on here relatively soon. He's got a busy schedule too, and everything that he's got going on. But there's local artists that are super talented that are coming out of these smaller towns, and people underrate them. It's like, it's funny when you see these big names. You know, you might see Isaiah, and they're talking about him. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he's from Chicago." No, he's not from Chicago. When you think Northern Illinois, everybody instantly thinks Chicago. It's like, no, it's not Chicago.
Yeah.
It is not Chicago at all. I mean, it's like these are small communities, small tight knit communities that, a lot of people, everybody knows everybody. I mean, you're not gonna know everybody because you're gonna be in different groups, But if you went to high school, I mean, I didn't really go to high school around here. I went to a small private school when I was growing up because I moved here as a kid. I was originally from Canada up there north, so I mean it's big change coming here, and obviously up there music then was a lot different, especially in the area I was more of that country kind of.
So you and Drake sort of.
Yeah, best friends,
Yeah.
Classmates.
Yeah, Vancouver up there.
You believe Drake?
Drake. What was that? What is that new song of his? Way Too Sexy or something like that. I can't even think of it now. The video
I
is
think
so
so, yeah.
odd. It's like it definitely suits him with the way that he's kind of like that goof. But yeah, I mean, yes, I always see everything about Drake because obviously you get into because obviously he is Canadian, but like he's a huge Raptors fan, so he's always at games and like doing all stuff out there. But I mean, you never know, man. Drake didn't start out. I mean,
Right.
Drake started out in Degrassi as a freaking kid in a
Yep.
wheelchair. I
I
mean,
remember that.
I mean, back then, if you looked at him, do you think you were thinking, oh man, this guy's gonna be like a massive hip hop artist that's gonna like be absolutely dominating our radio waves with all of his music. And I mean, he's got some bangers. I mean,
Definitely started from the bottom. Now he's there.
Yeah. No
Like
pun
I did that-
intended.
like I
Nah.
That'll conclude this
See,
live show.
that right there kind of just
Get out.
that kind of just gave away that you're definitely not the younger one of the two.
Damn. Well,
As soon as you start, I think it's about 30 that you start using the puns,
Yeah.
like unironically, like you're actually using a pun. You're not using it just to be stupid. You're using it because no, this shit's funny. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah. Check me out at patios tonight. We'll see who's younger.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get these guys some Jaeger tonight. I think that's gonna be fun. That's
He's
the
he's
drink
still
of
hungry
choice.
from the last time he messed with me.
That was 2 weeks ago.
God, you can't even keep
Still
up with
hurt.
your dad.
No, I cannot. Not this
Yeah,
guy.
I tried it the other night, and you guys will have to try it too. So, apparently, and this is something I've seen on TikTok. I'm like, bullshit. There's no way. Apparently, Kahlua, Kahlua is right.
Right.
The
that
alcohol?
Milk.
Yeah,
type
it's like
stuff.
a milky. Usually people
okay,
mix it
yeah.
with like coffee and
Yeah.
stuff. Kahlua and orange juice tastes like a fucking Tootsie Roll.
You believe it?
I don't know. You pair it with Preparation H. We're gonna check it out. I don't know.
See, it's funny. There's people at home right now like, do I have any under my sink right now? That's still a crazy thing, though.
Let's go to the
like,
message board. Let's wait.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we'll have to see how tonight goes. I mean, I start at 9. We'll kind of see how the night goes, and hopefully it's a good night. It's been some better weekends sitting out there with people coming out from all over. I mean, from Oregon, Mount Morris area all the way through the Sterling Rock Falls area, coming to Dixon. I mean, entertainment's been kind of unusual over the last year and a half, and especially in some areas, they were a lot tighter about like what you can do and what you can't do. Luckily, we live in small communities and we're able to still do stuff, as opposed to getting some of these big cities where you freaking can't even have 3 people at your house, for God's sakes.
Right.
Unless it's
I'd
a
go
protest,
nuts.
then it's okay.
But yeah, so yeah, I think that covers pretty much the whole album there. You guys will definitely have to check it out. It is on Spotify. I believe you said it was on Amazon too,
Yep.
right?
Pandora, Amazon, Spotify, and then TikTok. Pretty much everything.
So
in
all the
between.
normal streaming services they'll be able to find it, because not everybody uses Spotify. They might still use Pandora. I'm still I don't know, after using Spotify for so long now, I completely prefer it over Pandora. I mean, Pandora was cool before Spotify came out, but being able to, there's just all the extra options that you can do with Spotify as opposed to Pandora. And I think Pandora's trying now, but they're too little, too late. It's just like the whole, you're getting to like the video streaming. It's like you don't even think about, renting movies anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got like red boxes and things like that out there, but as far as streaming, you don't think about that. Like when you think streaming service, what's usually the first company you think of?
Like Netflix.
Of course. I
Yeah.
mean, there's obviously a bunch of other ones, but Netflix is the first one that you started. Now, I don't know if you're old enough for this, but I'm sure you remember. Do you remember what Netflix started as?
No.
Okay, so you'd get online, and it was like rent by mail. So you'd get DVDs in the mail, and say you pay $10 a month, you can have up to 3 videos at a time, and then you just send them back, and they send you whatever your replacement is.
I still
and that's how you rent it.
$60 for the BMG stuff that you send your CDs. I'm on collections for that.
Publishers Clearinghouse kind of thing.
I didn't get them.
That's how Netflix started. A lot of people don't even realize that, but that was like, God, that was a long time.
Well, then you
Mid
got
2000s.
Then your games started coming like that too. Your PlayStation
Yeah, but I
games
don't think that really took
GameFly,
off as
yeah.
much. Obviously, everything's digital now, and
Right.
most systems, some of the systems don't even have disk drives, so most people don't even buy it, because even if you buy a game, you still got to download the damn thing on your system, which makes no sense.
Hour.
Yeah, that's if you got good internet connection. But yeah, so I mean, like that's how Netflix started, was with just videoing, and then they started doing something. Oh, you can stream 3 hours of movies a month. That sounds ridiculous now, doesn't it? But that was like included with it. And then they kind of now remember, this is before so there was still a lot of areas that were still going by the whole dial-up.
Oh yeah, I still had a beeper last week, like 911.
But yeah, so
I need to make a call.
that's kind of like where they fit into, but a lot of people don't know the history behind Netflix on how that whole started. So with the whole video by mail, and they were starting the whole streaming stuff, they actually went up to a company and offered essentially basically offering like a partnership / selling this idea to them. Can you guess what company they sold it? They were going to sell it to?
Amazon.
Blockbuster.
Oh, and the one that
And
took them out of business, right?
yeah,
Basically,
they
essentially
didn't
took
keep
'em out
up
of
with the
business.
times. Now they did try starting to do that. Now I think there is still like one Blockbuster was like
Yeah, it's in-
North Dakota or somewhere, and I think Netflix is actually getting ready to shoot an original series there. I think based around the last Blockbuster. I remember seeing. I think it was
Wow.
Netflix. But yeah, that's kind of how they started, and like it's like, oh no, we're not in. That's a stupid idea.
It should be like Clerks 3. Silent
Yeah,
Bob
yeah.
and everything. They worked there. Like, it's the last one.
But yeah, so I mean that like you gotta. I guess my whole point of bringing that up was like you gotta know, you gotta keep up with the times and stuff like that. You know, like it's like, I mean, you're not releasing stuff. You're not trying to get people to buy CDs on this stuff because you know it's pretty much unrealistic unless you're getting your grandma to get a CD kind of thing.
Selling them out of my trunk and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean there's still bands and stuff like that they do that. Like I just bought a new car. I don't have a CD player in it. How the hell am I gonna play it?
Right.
Everything's wireless, Bluetooth, and digital now. Nobody uses. I mean, I got a stack of CDs, blank ones that I don't know if I'll ever use them now, but. I mean, I used to like doing that, the whole making a mix CD kind of thing. Put your favorites. I mean, it's stupid now when you think about it. It's like I just make a playlist in 5 minutes instead of having doing this and then burn and then back. I don't know if you saw my shirt. This might be a little before your time. So the whole LimeWire thing, that's how you used to do it. You used to have to download. It's like, God, if you say you wanted to download your album like back, let's say early 2000s. You know how many days that would take to download? Days.
Well,
And hopefully nobody gets on the phone and ruins the connection. No, I'm serious. Like I'm talking, we were rocking a solid 56K download speeds. Putting that in perspective, there's 1,000 kilobytes in a megabyte.
There's 1,000 megabytes and a gigabyte.
That's right.
Yeah.
And phones nowadays, I mean, you're probably going to run at least 10 or 15 megabyte download speeds on a low end.
man,
And that's like 4G. You can get faster now. I mean, I actually did a test not that long ago on my console. I was running just over a gig download speeds. This is a small ass town getting that kind of connection. It's like back then. I mean, this was back when you didn't watch things on your parents' computers. When you connected to the internet, you had to wait. You had to wait for that picture to load.
Damn.
I mean, you were finished before it got halfway down. I mean, you're good to go. But it's technology. It gets in that. You probably know more than that. I mean, you had to wait for those
Man,
Kmart lingerie magazines coming in the mail.
Why is it sticky? Give me my goddamn magazine. No, I mean, you guys talking about all that, but shoot, a girl you like and you make a tape for her. Got that tape and you go back and forth with that tape. That's.
Or you're talking about when you had the boombox and you wanted to record a song on the radio, so you had your tape in there while you were recording off another one?
Yeah.
And you're like, this radio DJ better not say anything over the air while the song's going on.
Kasem.
It's like, God damn it, just ruined the damn song.
God dang it.
Or it's got the static. Or you got your mom yelling in the background. It's like, damn it, I got to re-record it now. That was kind of how how we used to get ringtones. I mean, nobody uses ringtones.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember the last time my phone wasn't on silent, like on vibrate. Like, how often do you actually have your phone? Like, I think the only time I hear, like, I'm in a store and I hear a phone go off, it's somebody like 60 years old, 70 years old. They got their jitterbug or whatever the hell phone it is.
It's all big.
The giant
big.
buds. I mean, we're laughing now, but eventually we're probably gonna need the same thing.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Easy.
Oh yeah, Uncle Pokey's got it.
It's kind of made me think of something else. But like with your whole buddy there in the UK that did the vocals there, it's like it made me think of the whole only in America kind of thing, right? Only in America do drive-up ATMs have Braille.
Like, why is he? He pulls up.
When you think about that kind of stuff, it's like, oh shit, wait, why?
Well, yeah.
Why do you got Braille on it? I'm a little more concerned about that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But anyways, man, so I think we're kind of drawing to the hour mark here.
Yeah.
It's been a good little conversation. I know you guys probably aren't super comfortable with talking in front of a microphone or in front of a camera. It's a little nerve-wracking at first. But I think I think you relaxed a little bit more. A little pressure's a little off.
We're gonna start pre-gaming for patios tonight.
There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
I mean, I got a couple bottles in the fridge. This could be an interesting night. Never know. I might drop an original track tonight.
Oh,
There you go.
Get it. All right.
I'll be doing some karaoke with some Garth Brooks going on here.
There you go.
No, I ain't got none of that shit tonight. But no, man, it was a good conversation, and
Yeah, big ups to you.
Yeah.
Also, doing all the local stuff. I applaud you for doing stuff like that for all these guys in this area. Yeah, really big ups to you.
yeah, man, it's been a great conversation. But yeah, we'll have to tie together at some point in the future and have Sam on, and hopefully before you guys go super popular. Otherwise, it's gonna be a hell of a time trying to get you guys on here again. But it's been fun, and I know I'm glad you were able to come on too. It adds a little bit of experience in the conversation. The good old days.
Yeah. Hopefully it gives, trying to get that up, your next demographic for the older one.
The older one?
Being your
The older-
43.
Well, you got to appeal to everybody. I mean, there's no age restrictions. Whenever I do a wedding and it was the garter toss or bouquet toss, I wanted everybody to include it. So I'd always shout out, I'm like, I want everybody out here. If you don't got a ring on your finger, I want to see you out here. I don't care if your boyfriend, girlfriend's here. I don't care if you're 5 or 95. I want to see you on the dance floor. It's got to be fun for everybody.
Shoot, I get in my pockets and I got a bunch of these erectile dysfunction gas station pills and stuff. Like I'm going out there. I'm going to get me some tonight. That's why I'll be at patios tonight.
There you go. But yeah, guys, it's been a good conversation. I think we'll tie out with another one of your songs off the album. So once again, it's all available on all streaming platforms. And so you have to check it out on Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music.
Yep. Apple Music, iTunes, everything.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, that's Dreams on My Cheek with Dshaw and Sam Welch. You also want to check at least Sam out there on Facebook. We'll link it in the comments below after the video, and you guys can check him out. And then once you get your Facebook page set up, we'll get that shouted out there, get you going, and hopefully maybe in the near future see album number 2. This one seemed to hit off pretty good, and I think
So far.
I think get some collaborations, maybe with see if there's some other local artists that want to do some collaborations too. And
Trippin' Molly.
dude, that would be fucking awesome to put
Get
some
out your
type of
boy.
rock type of feel to one of these tracks.
Oh,
Add
yeah,
that or with
absolutely.
that, man.
There
There's
you
so
go.
many things that you can do, and I'm excited to see where you guys take with this. But yeah, so guys, check it out. All your streaming platforms, it's available right now, and you can download that stuff. So if you have no internet connection, if you're in buckfuck Egypt, you can still listen to these tracks. Like I said, my favorite, No Messing With Your Day, but we're going to end out the show with Tie Your Shoelace off the album. So ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor, and we will talk to you guys next time. See ya.
Yeah, tie your shoelace. Be a beast in the duvet. Get a mouthful of smoothie. Play the villain in my home movie. Yeah, tie your shoelace. Drop to your knees like you're broody. Like you got something to prove to me. A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? We already had a hiccup. Came close to a breakup. Tear stains on your makeup. Know you have a nibble every time you do a sit up. Marbles in the leg cup. Take a little dip when it gets up. But don't do it with your eyes shut. A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? Do you feel me? Do you feel me? Do you feel me? Do you feel me?
Yeah. Tie your shoelace. Be a beast in the duvet. Get a mouthful of smoothie. Play the villain in my home movie. Wow. Tie your shoelace. Drop to your knees like you're broody. Like you got something to prove to me.
A bone bone notch just fine. Do you feel me? Till your legs sore, you're gonna have it. Do your worst, like, go and cause havoc. If you like me, don't forget your salad. And wash it down with a cocktail. Marbles in a packet. Neighbours gonna hear that racket. Don't hum till your mouth has had it. A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? A bone notch just fine, fine. A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? A bone notch just fine. Tie your shoelace, yeah, tie your shoelace. Be a beast in the duvet. Get a mouth full of smoothie. Play the villain in my whole movie, yeah. Tie your shoelace. Drop to your knees like you're broody. Like you got something to prove to me. A bone notch just fine, do you feel me? Do you feel me? Do you feel me? Feel me? Tie your shoelace. Yeah, tie your shoelace. Tie your shoelace. Tie your shoelace. Yeah, tie your shoelace. Tie your shoelace. Tie your shoelace. Yeah.